Welcome to the best 100 psychological curiosities that explain why we act the way we do. Let's begin. 1. Your brain sometimes remembers things that never happened because memory is not a perfect file, but a reconstruction subject to error. 2. People who talk to themselves are not crazy. They are actually more efficient, as verbalizing thoughts helps clarify ideas and concentrate better. In 3, the smell of old books can trigger intense nostalgia because the sense of smell is directly connected to the limbic system, the area of the brain that handles emotions and memories. 4. You believe you make logical decisions, but most are emotional, and then your brain rationalizes the choice to make you believe it was pure logic. 5. The Dunning-Kruger Effect causes people with little knowledge of a subject to feel like experts, while true experts often underestimate their own ability. 6. Procrastination is not laziness. It's an inability to manage negative emotions associated with a task, such as boredom or anxiety. 7. Listening to sad music when you're depressed can actually make you feel better because it releases prolactin, a hormone that provides comfort and a sense of calm. 8. Your favorite song is probably linked to an important emotional event in your life. This is known as music-linked autobiographical memory. 9. The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, or frequency illusion, means that when you learn something new, you start seeing it everywhere, because your brain increases its attention to that newly acquired concept. 10. Honest people are more likely to cheat in small things as their brain self-justifies, thinking they have already paid their moral debt with their good behavior. 11. Confirmation bias causes you to seek out and interpret information that confirms what you already believe, ignoring any contradictory evidence. 12 blue is the world's favorite color. By a wide majority, psychologists believe it is associated with stability and calm, like the sky and the sea. For 13, your personality can change depending on the language you speak, because each language activates different cultural norms and behavior patterns. 14, the 4 effect causes you to accept vague personality descriptions as if they were specific to you, which is why horoscopes seem so accurate. 15, compulsive shopping activates the reward center in your brain, giving you immediate satisfaction that is usually fleeting and followed by guilt. 16, romantic love and obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, share similar biochemical bases in low serotonin levels. 17, people who use more colorful or vulgar language are often more honest and have a richer vocabulary, according to some studies. 18, the bystander effect states that the more people witness an emergency, the less likely someone is to help, because responsibility is diffused among the group. 19. Your brain processes social rejection in the same way as physical pain, activating the same neural areas. 20. Constructive daydreaming can be a sign of an efficient and creative brain, not a lazy one. 21. The negativity bias makes you remember insults more than compliments, because negative events have a greater impact on your brain as a survival mechanism. 22. Prolonged eye contact consumes so many brain resources that you can sometimes forget what you were saying. 23. Believing you slept well, even if you haven't, can improve your performance. This is known as the sleep placebo effect. 24. The halo effect means that if you find someone attractive, you assume they are also smarter and kinder, even if you have no proof. 25. Your brain is programmed to better remember what happens at the beginning and end of a study session while forgetting the middle, the serial position effect. 26. Too many options can paralyze you and make you unhappy, a phenomenon known as the paradox of choice. 27. People who have a greater fear of missing out, FOMO, often report lower levels of overall life satisfaction. 28. The pratfall effect states that making a small mistake can make you more likable if you are perceived as competent because it humanizes you. 29. Your brain can feel an itch just by seeing someone scratch themselves due to mirror neurons that simulate the experience on your own skin. 30. Hindsight bias, or the "I knew it all along" effect, makes you believe you predicted an event after it happened, distorting your memory of the past. 31. The mere exposure effect causes you to prefer things simply because they are familiar to you, including people. 32. Low-dose stress can temporarily improve your memory and performance. This is known as eustress. 33. People who read literary fiction show a greater capacity to understand the emotions and thoughts of others. 34. The Pygmalion effect, or self-fulfilling prophecy, means that if someone has high expectations of you, your performance tends to improve. 35. Your brain filters out most of the sensory information you receive. If it didn't, you would collapse from overload. 36. Fear can be literally contagious because you can detect the fear pheromones that other people release through sweat. 37. People who wear red are perceived as more attractive and powerful due to deep cultural and biological associations. 38. The illusory superiority effect means that most people consider themselves above average in almost any ability, which is statistically impossible. 39. Your brain continues to solve complex problems while you sleep, which is why you sometimes wake up with the solution. 40. Anchoring bias causes the first information you receive on a topic to disproportionately influence your subsequent decisions. 41. The McGurk effect demonstrates that what you see influences what you hear. If you see a mouth making one gesture, your brain can make you hear a different sound. 42. People with more self-control don't constantly fight temptations. They have simply created habits that avoid temptation. 43. The placebo effect is so powerful that it can work even when you know you are taking a placebo. 44. Your brain is capable of creating a face on any object if it has two dots and a line resembling a face. This is called facial pareidolia. Now, 45. Overconfidence in your memories can make you more prone to false memories because you don't question their veracity. 46. The bandwagon effect makes you more likely to adopt a belief or behavior if many people around you already have it. 47. People who spend more time in nature show reduced levels of rumination, repetitive negative thoughts. 48. The scarcity effect makes you desire something more simply because it is limited or difficult to obtain. 49. Your brain can learn new information during sleep, but only if presented in the correct light sleep phases. 50. The attribution bias causes you to attribute your own successes to your ability, but your failures to external factors, while you do the opposite with others. Statistic 51. The simple act of smiling, even if you don't feel like it, can reduce stress and improve your mood. 52. The audience effect means that your performance improves on simple tasks, but worsens on complex tasks when you know you are being watched. 53. People who practice gratitude regularly experience higher levels of happiness and physical well-being. 54. Fear of the unknown is often more intense than fear of a known threat, activating a greater anxiety response in your brain. 55. Your brain has an optimism bias that makes you underestimate the probability of negative events happening to you. 56. The framing effect causes your decisions to change depending on how the information is presented. For example, as a gain or a loss. 57. People who have a clear purpose in life tend to live longer and in better health. 58. The misinformation effect occurs when your memory of an event is altered by incorrect information you receive after it happened. 59. Your brain releases dopamine not when you get a reward, but when you anticipate that you are going to get it, which is why waiting can be so pleasurable. 60. The availability heuristic causes you to overestimate the importance of information that is freshest in your memory. 61. Warm physical contact, like a hug, releases oxytocin, which reduces stress and strengthens social bonds. 62. The illusion of control effect makes you believe you have more control over events than you really do, such as when you gamble. 63. People who spend money on experiences instead of objects report longer-lasting happiness. 64. Chronic stress can physically shrink areas of your brain, such as the hippocampus, which is crucial for memory. 65. Your brain processes stories so vividly that you can have physiological responses, such as an increased heart rate when listening to them. 66. The contrast effect makes you perceive something as more attractive or valuable just because you compare it to something worse. 67. People who practice mindfulness meditation show physical changes in the brain associated with better emotional regulation. 68. The false consensus effect makes you believe that your own opinions, beliefs, and habits are more common than they actually are. 69. Your brain is programmed to complete patterns and fill information gaps, which is why you see faces in the moon or shapes in clouds. 70. The status quo bias leads you to prefer things to stay as they are rather than changing, even if the change is beneficial. 71. Distributed or spaced learning is more effective than massed learning because your brain consolidates memories better with breaks. 72. People who exercise regularly not only have better physical health, but also greater resilience to psychological stress. 73. The Duchenne smile, a genuine smile that involves the eyes, is universally recognized as a sign of true happiness. 74. Your attention span is not spent like a battery, but is more like a muscle that can get tired but also be trained. 75. The focalism effect causes you to overestimate the impact that future events will have on your emotions, both positive and negative. 76. People who cultivate strong social bonds have a more robust immune system and live longer. 77. The illusory truth effect makes you more likely to believe a statement is true just because you have heard it before. 78. Your brain prioritizes remembering information it considers relevant to your survival, even in a modern context. 79. The self-serving bias causes you to accept responsibility for positive outcomes and deny or avoid responsibility for negative ones. 80. The fluency effect makes you perceive information presented clearly and easy to understand as more true. 81. People who get enough sleep are perceived as more attractive and healthier than those who are sleep deprived. 82. The effect of prolonged exposure to blue light from screens can suppress melatonin and severely disrupt your sleep cycle. 83. Your brain can become addicted to uncertainty. Unpredictable rewards release more dopamine than expected ones. 84. The illusion of transparency effect causes you to overestimate how much others can guess your internal emotions and thoughts. 85. People who spend time caring for plants or gardens show significant reductions in their cortisol levels, the stress hormone. 86. Effective forecasting bias is the tendency to overestimate the duration and intensity of your future emotional states. 87. The intergroup rivalry effect can be triggered by arbitrary divisions, causing you to favor your group even without a logical reason. 88. Your brain has a default mode network that is activated when you are doing nothing and is crucial for creativity and introspection. 89. The sleep debt effect is cumulative and can affect your cognition and mood even if you don't feel sleepy. 90. The blind spot bias makes it easier for you to see biases in others than to recognize your own. 91. The anticipation effect of a pleasant experience often provides more happiness than the experience itself. 92. People who practice expressive writing about trauma or stress show improvements in their mental and physical health. 93. Your brain is so good at detecting patterns that it sometimes sees them where they don't exist, as in coincidences or luck. 94. The allostatic load effect is the cumulative wear and tear on your body and brain from chronic stress. 95. The negativity bias in the news exists because your brain is programmed to pay more attention to potential threats. 96. The deliberate practice effect is more important for mastery than natural talent in almost any field. 97. People who have pets, especially dogs, report lower levels of loneliness and anxiety. 98. Your brain can change and adapt throughout your life. This capacity is called neuroplasticity. 99. The social validation effect makes you more likely to imitate the actions of others when you are in an ambiguous situation. 100. You believe you are a single person, but you actually have different selves that take control depending on the context. Your social self, your professional self, your family self. If you enjoyed this journey through the secrets of your mind, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And now on the screen, you have 2 more videos that we are sure will fascinate you.